Good evening, everybody. Hope everyone's doing well. Before I begin, please excuse the fan that you hear in the background. Summer decided to give us a sneak preview of what's to come. So otherwise, I will be sweating my head off without the fan. So I just wanted to make everyone aware of that. It's gonna be coming on and off as I record this video. With that being said, this week's piece, this is poem number 16 of 30 for NaPoWriMo. And it's my first after poem for this month. I made it 15 days without doing it, which is weird because after poems are part of my repertoire. But anyway, I came across the original poem that Emma-Jane Barlow posted to her Instagram feed, and in the caption she welcomed any and all after poems in response, which I'm more than happy to oblige her in doing so. And the poem goes a little something like this. I met my past self in a crowded room, the auditorium of PS 112, third grade. He looked familiar, shadow and all, saying over and over again, CHIMNEY. With a sigh, he said, I was the first one gone. He wanted to cry as he saw me. I came over closer. Not a word said. Hugged him instead. The room began to empty out. He told me how hard he worked, giving up recess while he looked over so many words. I understood the feeling of things not going to plan. With a napkin, he dried his eyes as we sat in the auditorium seats. I heard him speak. He shined quiet, just like me, of his hopes to learn to fly, to stand on both his own feet. I reminded him in a calm tone of voice, life is more than one's defeats. So yes, this poem is an after of EJ's original of meeting my past self in a crowded room. And to be truthful, this particular piece was a last minute rewrite, as in late last night, last minute rewrite, because the whole rewrite came solely from a conversation I had with my therapist last night, Tuesday night, in which the one wound, the first moment of defeat that I've been holding against myself all these years, the third grade spelling bee, came up yet again. I even read the poem Spelling Bee, which I wrote for my first book, poetic journey staying at home while we were on the call. And that's when the idea came. She mentioned to me, Oswald, rewrite the spelling bee poem, but do so with a more compassionate lens. And after the call wrapped up on Tuesday night, I took a look at the original version of this poem that I wrote, which was meant to meet up with my younger self circa August 1996, just before the last slate of leg surgeries came along. But after the conversation had on our call Tuesday night, I decided to trash that piece and start again from scratch, copying the opening line of the poem. And the thing is, with me and that third grade self, I don't really remember what he looks like or remember him much at all. Like, my whole basis for him is the fact that I still remember this one moment which I've never let myself off the hook for it, and only started to deal with it in recent memory because of the fact that I started picking up writing poetry. Was I able to deal with this moment that is one of the first that I have some recollection of, even though the details are fuzzy. Sorry again for the noise and the noise. Anyway, the third grade B, I barely remember him, but yet this moment has come up time and again over the years, to the point where I use it as a cudgel over myself to not show any sense of ambition with my life, given that in my head anyway, I expect everything I do to go horribly wrong and fail most of the time, only to be pleasantly surprised when things, actually work out in my favor, which, given the fact that I've all the accomplishments I've done in the years since, I shouldn't be so catastrophizing everything even to this day. Yet it's still it's something I struggle to let go of. In this poem, I tried to be more compassionate to my third grade self than was given during the day. I do remember the rest of my classmates tried to console me and cheer me up after this, but for me, I was not having it. This felt like I let everyone down because I was the first one eliminated from the spelling bee. All the effort that I made went to waste. And I guess when it's third grade me, you don't really think about the future or like where like things will ultimately end up. Like you don't remember what happened to you beforehand either. It's just you in the immediate moment, this moment of humiliation in front of the entire third grade class that happened, and then having to like relive it again when you got home later that day. Came home to a forlorn expression from my dad. Like when I told him this, he's like not wanting to get mad at me for this, but at the same it's like trying to show like a degree of empathy towards me. So it's just I tried to like be a bit more gentler to myself in meeting my past self with this piece than I usually tend to be to myself, yet I try to be as empathetic and compassionate to pretty much everyone else in my life. So in this like piece, I was kind of hoping that I would be able to at least put a little bit more distance between myself and that random Friday afternoon. I know I'm going to be hard on myself. Like there's no like, it's like so hardwired in my personality that all the therapy, life coaching, and Abraham Hicks videos that like everyone like puts forward, it's going to take all of that and then some to like finally be free of being really judgmental and critical of myself. It's just like that combination of that and the fact that the cerebral palsy doesn't really begin to be noticeable until much later than this point. So pretty much I just tried to give myself more compassion. It's something I work really hard on, even if I don't see it manifest at first, as life is too short to be beating myself up over traumas that have happened well before you had a solid memory of the situation. I'd like to think my past self would be proud of me overcoming that moment of difficulty to get farther in life, to be able to try to enjoy life more than he could because of his limitations. I'd like to think that in that crowded room, my past self would remember that he matters. Even that life is not like it's not the end of the world if one thing goes wrong. That my past self, present self, and future self all remember that they matter. Well, everyone, that's it for this week's video. I hope all of you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll talk to you guys again next week. Good night, everybody.